Today we have Meghna Pant. Meghna Pant is an Indian author, speaker, feminist, and journalist. She has won a lot of awards for her contribution to literature, journalism, and gender issues. So we are so excited to have you both on, ma'am, today. And our audience would like to know who you are. Who is Meghna Pant actually?
I'm a self-made author and journalist. I was born in Shimla. My parents used to work for the government, for the income tax, IRS. And I grew up in Delhi. I spent my childhood there, and then I moved to Bombay when I was 9 years old. And have lived around the world in my 20s, in Switzerland, Singapore, where I studied on scholarship. And then I worked in Switzerland and New York and Dubai. And then I moved back to India and decided to first, give up a very well-paying job to become a full-time author. And that's what I've been doing. Since 2013, I moved back to Mumbai, and my first book, One and a Half Wife, got published in 2012. And I'm now 6 books down and raring to go. Very excited. I've entered into the movie space. I've started writing screenplays. So it's quite an exciting time, I think, to be a writer in India.
You are such a famous personality. I'm so thrilled to have you, I'm taking an interview of yours. So it's
my
a pleasure.
My pleasure.
My name is Jyotsna Thakran. I'm media representative of Frontlist Media.
Great. Sorry, I didn't hear that part earlier. I can hear you. Great. Hi, Jyotsna.
So my first question, your book, Feminist Rani and the Terrible, Horrible, Very Bad, Good News, stir up the issues of gender inequality and women empowerment. So do you actually believe that a writer has enough power to change the people's perspective through their writings?
I wish literature had that much hold over people's imagination. As artists, we'd like to believe that our art empowers change. But I think what art does do is that it takes the conversation forward. So, like, for example, you mentioned The Terrible, Horrible, Very Bad, Good News, which is my latest book. And that talks about a divorced girl who lives in Rishikesh, in a small town, and decides to use a donor to have a baby. And she scandalizes her very conservative family, her very conservative society. And she's a very normal girl. It's not like she's a feminist or she identifies as one, or she's some activist or celebrity or influencer. She's a very normal, regular girl. But she gathers the courage to follow her dreams and exercise her choices and agency. And I think that's what literature should do. It should enable some part of the conversation to be taken forward. So I don't think as writers we can possess the arrogance to say that our literature, our writing will change the world. But we can hope and pray that even if it changes one person's mind, that person will go and change their family's mind, and that family will, go and change society's mind. Society will then change the nation, and that's how the world will change. But even if you manage to help a few people think differently through your words, I think you've done your job. So that's all you can hope for.
Authors can only hope for that my audience, really like my stuff, what I'm writing is just what they want right now. So thank you. And my next question. So The Terrible, Horrible, Very Bad News is soon to be your major motion picture, Badnaam Laddu, right? So you must be very excited that my story is going to be movie. So do you really think that a movie will do justice to your storyline?
I think certain stories
so what are your thoughts?
Work well. I think stories don't conform to the medium. I think a good story is a good story no matter what medium it is told in. So whether it's in film, whether it's a novel, a short story collection, or a play, or even a tweet, right? A good story is a good story no matter what the medium is. So this actually, Badnaam Laddu actually started out as a screenplay. I wrote it last year. I just had my second child. The pandemic had started, and we were all so overwhelmed. We were all, I think, unfurling with the tragedy around us, right? And we were so scared for the safety of our family, of our loved ones, of our friends, of our neighbors. And in that midst, I found that I couldn't write what I usually write, which is serious fiction. So I turned to comedy.
Okay.
A lot of you will know comedy runs in my family. My brother's a stand-up comedian, Saurabh Pant. And we've been raised with a lot of humor. And I said, let me tap into that and, write something that people need to hear, something that is funny and light and relatable, because that's the story we need right now. That's the need of the hour, especially with all that we've undergone over the last 1.5 years as a humanity, right? So I wrote a comedy, and it's a fun story. It's got major crazy characters who support Laddu, who's the protagonist of the movie. So it started out as a screenplay. Yeah, so I wrote it as a screenplay. It got picked up. And then, because I'm an author, I decided I have to write a book about it also. So that's how The Terrible, Horrible, Very Bad Good News came about. And Audible picked it up as an audio book. It's also been translated into Hindi, which will be out in October this year. So I'm very excited, and I think there's a Marathi translation also underway. So I'm quite excited about the journey that this book has already taken. It's only 2 months old, 2-3 months old, but it's taken a pretty exciting turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your happiness. And one more thing, do you really think that you have written a comedy book, right? So do you really think that the movie will also be a comedy movie, or maybe that you think there may be some, some stories or some storyline should be going to, some missed or something? Because we have seen that movie and a novel is basically two different things. So I hope that your book will justice with the movie, and it's all the best for your book.
Thank you.
So my third questions to you. You have a finance background. I have researched about it that you have a finance background, right? So when did you realize that you want to be an author? How did it happen?
I, like any other Indian kid growing up in a middle class family, I was told that you have to study hard, you have to work hard, join a company and slave away there for the next 40 years till your retirement comes. So I was following that sort of path for myself, and I think maybe when I was 19, I started dabbling in writing short stories just for fun. It wasn't anything serious, but they started getting published, and I started then when I was a little bit older, in my 20s, I moved to New York for my job, and I was reporting from the New York Stock Exchange. And there in New York, it's a very thriving cultural scene. So there were a lot of writing courses, a lot of writers around. So I started getting inspired to go to these writing classes. So I, 1.5 Wife, my first novel, and Happy Birthday, which is my debut short story collection, both were actually written when I was in New York working there, and framed by the writing classes that I used to attend after my job was over. And I think I slaved for 5 years almost. I was writing and I was doing a full-time job. You won't believe it, I didn't have time to watch a movie. I didn't have a TV at home because I had no time to do anything. And that time we didn't have Twitter and all that. Like social media was not a distraction at that time. So I was focused only on writing and work. I also started feeling like burnt out. So I said it's time to make a choice. Unfortunately or fortunately, I followed my passion instead of my head. I said, let me just see if I can be a full-time writer. I moved back to Bombay, and I said, let me give it a shot for 1 year. And that's now turned into 8 years and counting. Yeah.
That's amazing. You are courageous, right? Like follow your passion, and despite of having job or something, that's very inspirational.
I think the pandemic has also taught us how short and surprising life is. So it's very unpredictable. So I think if your heart is telling you कि कुछ करो, करना ही है, then don't deny yourself your dreams, don't deny yourself your hopes and aspirations. You have one very short life. Just do what you want. Money can, if you can live within your means. I always tell people that try to live a very simple life within your means. If you want to be a writer or poet, or follow your dreams, and then work from there. If you simplify your life, your passion is then achievable.
Thank you so much. You are such an inspiration to us. It's amazing. So I would like to know, who is your favorite author?
So my favorite author is the Canadian short writer. Her name is Alice Munro. I love her writing. There's also the Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Adichie, whose work I just love. She's also a feminist, and I love everything she writes. She writes novels, short story, feminist works. She's also a very influential public speaker. So I think if
Okay.
you're a young girl, please do read her work. She is phenomenal. So I find her very inspiring. And in India,
Could
we
you
do
please
this.
repeat
Yeah,
repeat her name? What was her name?
Chimamanda.
Chimamanda. Okay.
Adichie.
Manda. Okay.
Yeah. I know it's still a little confusing name, but it's a beautiful name once you get a hold of it. And in India, of course, there's so many voices, female voices and otherwise, who I really enjoy reading.
So I would like to know what genre you like to read in your leisure time. What kind of genre you read?
I
Apart from
read the
fiction.
kind of books that I write typically, which is drama.
Drama.
So like I read like a Jhumpa Lahiri or Arvind Adiga, Arundhati Roy or Chitra Banerjee is a huge favorite of mine. Or even contemporary voices like Mahesh Rao, Manu Joseph. I enjoy all their works a lot. Anis Salim, there's so many others, Meena Kandasamy, so many other authors, Indian authors I'm talking about, who've written wonderful works of literature. And translations also, like K.R. Meera, she's a favorite author of mine. Please read her work, she's brilliant. Hangwoman is a fantastic book. Perumal Murugan, Benjamin, all these are, authors that you must read. And by the way, we have a huge diversity of voices in literature. It's just that I think some of them don't know how to market themselves because they're too busy writing. And unfortunately, what India is reading is our products. They're reading best-selling books. They're not reading the best-selling books.
Right.
So unfortunately, that's the country. But I think it's just the world over now. Jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai. So it's become more about the noise and in all fields, it's become more about the noise and the content. So I think that's, I'm telling you a few good voices because I'm in the field. You must read these authors and I think you'll enjoy them.
I would like to read them. Definitely, I will read them. Okay. So, every author goes through the writer's block, right? It's a once in a lifetime thing that you have a writer's block. So what do you do when you face the same problem, writer's block? So how do you overcome that block?
I'll tell you one thing, and I get asked this question a lot. The first rule of being a writer is that I know we all suffer from a lot of angst. We suffer from self-crippling anxiety and doubt. Yeah. So when you're writing your first draft, don't put any pressure on yourself. Don't try to make it perfect. So approach the draft as just a place for you to throw out your ideas, like literally puking at them all out. And don't self-censor yourself. So just go with the flow. Just, like they say, write when you're drunk because you're uninhibited. So don't censor yourself at that point. Just write what's coming to you. Don't say, ये क्या बकवास है, कौन पढ़ेगा, मैं क्यों लिख रहा हूँ या लिख रही हूँ. Don't do all that. Just let it all come out and then you take a break. Go travel, go hang out with your friends who I'm sure are missing you. Go watch Netflix, binge watch all the shows on Netflix. Do whatever makes you happy. Then come back to the table after 2-3 months and then start editing. Okay. So you'll find all the writer's block now, it'll all go away. And the minute, by the way, guys, if you get any idea, write it down immediately because I know we all think we have great memories, but there's so much noise in our lives nowadays that even if a good idea comes to us and we think we'll remember it, we'll immediately forget. So one thing I always do is on my phone, I'm constantly, if an idea comes to me, I immediately write it down and I email it to myself because I know I'll forget in the next 5 minutes. So it's a small tip that's really helped me and I hope it helps you guys. And when you have so many ideas, then you don't have time to get crippled by all the self-doubt. You're like, itni kahaniyan likhni hai, so let's get on with it. So don't be a gatekeeper of your own dream. Don't be your worst enemy. Have confidence that you have talent and trust me, you do. And write the story that you want to tell. And trust me, all your anxiety, all your writer's block will all go away.
It will go away. Okay. So one question is this, when you were writing your first novel, your first book, so how was the experience of writing that time? Right now you are too much more experienced, right? But what was your experience back then?
I was very, I was just like any new writer. I didn't know if anybody would publish me. I also didn't know if anybody would read me. I didn't know if anybody would review my work. I didn't know if anybody might invite me to literature festivals, because I'm an outsider to the industry. I don't have mentors or godfathers or any of that. I'm a complete outsider. That's why I wrote, this book also, How to Get Published in India, because all the mistakes I made when I started off as a writer is I don't want other writers to go through that. So, if you are serious about a career as a writer, trust me, just invest in this book. It's only $200-300. It's worth it. It'll save you so much time and money and effort, and you don't have to struggle, because all the mistakes I made, I've put it down in the book. I've given tips on everything from how to write a good book to how to find a good publisher, and then how to market a book. And in the last section of the book, I've also got essays by Jeffrey Archer, Twinkle Khanna, Ashwin Sanghi, all the top editors, agents, self-publishing platforms. All the advice you need is in this book. So if you're serious, just trust me, pick it up. Don't email me and ask me for more advice. All the advice I have, because I keep getting 100 emails a day. All the advice I have, trust me guys, I've not held anything back. So just pick up the book and just read it. And everything that you need to know about publishing is in the book. So I think that I wish there was a book like that when I had started out, because I spent a year just figuring out how to approach a publisher. Because I wanted to get only the top publishers. Otherwise, I was like, I'm not doing this. So I spent almost, because the submission package, and most writers underestimate the power of the submission package. The rejection rates in publishing are 95%, because your query letter, which is your email to the publisher, is not written professionally. So that's one thing you have to nail. Again, all the advice is in this book. So just pick it up, don't overthink it, and everything, please be professional and come across as a writer. Even if you don't have social media followers or any clout, don't be scared or intimidated. Publishers are also looking for new and fresh voices.
Right now, budding authors are going forward towards the self-publishing, right? So we don't have to worry about the publishing industry, that they will gonna like it or not, because I have seen people, people using social media platforms for doing their branding or of writing or something. So I think today we are seeing the flourishing publishing industry. We have so many budding writers with us now. We don't have to worry about it, which is very nice. And it's good to hear that how to publish in India. That's very inspirational to us.
Thank you.
So my last question is related to screenplay, right? You told me that you used to be a screenwriter. So my question is, you have written several screenplays, right, for movies and web shows. So as a screenwriter, what suggestion would you like to give a budding screenwriters, as a screenwriter, for budding screenwriter? What are the suggestions?
The one thing I would do is that screenwriting is also science. There's a method to the madness. So please read books like Saved by the Cat or something like that. There are a lot of books out there on screenwriting, or undertake a course with the Film Academy or SWA. There are a lot of resources that you have. It's a very lucrative space to enter as a writer, especially as compared to books. And also because everybody has now moved to OTT and everybody is watching content on OTT. So the OTT platforms are all looking for fresh voices. They're looking for new ideas. They're desperate for good content. So this is a very good time to tap into that if you have great content. And just remember, there's a certain skill of being a screenwriter, which is, first of all, you have to have a very good ear for dialogue. Also, you have to have a very visual way of thinking. So most novelists are not able to be screenplay writers because they don't have such a visual way of thinking. They're more about description than dialogue. So you have to turn off that cap. It's not about description and screenplay. It's the complete opposite of novels. It's mostly driven by dialogue and action. So just focus on those aspects. And it has to be pacey. There are a lot of genres again that are finding voice: action, adventure, thrillers, murderers. All of that is comedy dramas, human stories are finding a lot of traction. So get into that, but first learn the art of screenplay writing, because trust me, it's quite tough. It's very technical. There are things like beat sheets and Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. It all has to be broken down in an Excel sheet. You have to first pitch a concept, then a story, then a screenplay, then dialogues. And also remember that unlike books where it's only you and the editor and then it reaches your reader, here there are many gatekeepers. It starts from you as a writer, but then you need producers, you need directors, actors, you need technicians, editors. It's a very, very big team that you're working with. So I think you can survive in this industry only if you have all these skills and a lot of tenaciousness, a lot of patience, and a lot of hard work. So the money is good, yeah, but it also takes a lot out of you. So only if you have the thick skin for it, then get into it.
So being an author and being a screenwriter, what's the difference?
What I just told you, you have to, I mean, novels are about description and here it's about action and dialogue. So you can't linger on any moments. In novels, there are a lot of silences between the pages, between, the plot and the pace.
Okay.
In screenplay, there's not any moment of solitude or quietness. So you have to have a very different skill set for writing screenplays. And again, very, very few authors or novelists are able to translate into that. So just think visually and think pace, think dialogues and action.
So you're happy that you tapped into author industry.
Sure.
Yeah. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you, darling. Happy. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. You too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.